What's up, guys? Back at it again with another episode of CD Talk with your boys, Tevita and Preston.
Yo. I don't know. Yeah.
Yo.
So this time we're doing a little something different. Audio listeners won't understand this, but the people that watch this on YouTube will. Yeah, so I'm going to address it real quick. As for the video listeners, sorry, audio listeners, is we have headphones on this time and a better camera this time.
Mm-hmm. We're looking phenomenal right now with this better camera.
Yeah,
listeners,
way
I'm sorry you're missing out on this.
I look so sexy.
Check it out on YouTube. CD Talk, all one word.
So the same thing that you see on the podcast on Spotify and iTunes. Oh, it's not iTunes anymore. It's Apple Music. Just a little thing, just a little side-by-side or whatever, because we're saying that, is this will be our first podcast on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah.
And that is courtesy of our sponsor today, which is Anchor. So...
shameless. Boom.
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do to make it up in this world, and we ain't stopping. So.
Pushing. So, anyway, got that out of the way. So, our topic today, Audioslave.
Audioslave, baby boy.
Hell yeah. So, for the audio listeners also, because this is probably your first podcast, and I don't want to annoy you with this shit before you click off, but, we drink on this podcast.
Yep.
And vape.
Yep.
It
is a
what to do.
old time, like, because I think everybody, when they go to parties, they just love to kick back. There's always music usually going on. So the song comes up, you start bullshitting about that song, leads into a music conversation. I feel like most people just bullshit about music when they go to parties anyways.
Do you think so?
I think so, for the most part.
Good
parties.
Your friends are better than my friends.
Good parties.
My
always
friends
have
talk
a good
about
music
just
conversation.
astronomy and shit.
I mean, that's not bad.
My friends are your friends. You know who
I was
I
going to
hang
say,
out with.
yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. So.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, so we're talking about Audioslave today. I feel a little unprepared because I think the album name is just Audioslave. I think it's a self-titled album.
Yeah, I think it is as well.
Yeah, so just a self debut. I think it's their first album. Came out in 2012. Is Audioslave's
2012?
or 2002. Wow.
Okay. Oof.
Like I said, we drink on the podcast.
You know, a couple stumbles, but we never stop.
Hey, we get in there. But yeah, so 2002's Audioslave's, well, not slaves, Audioslave.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
and I don't know if we ever figured it out, but I'm pretty sure Audioslave it's the band of Rage Against the Machine, and then it's the singer of, what is it, Soundgarden?
Soundgarden, yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's what it is.
So, yeah, I forgot that we were supposed to look that up. So I know that's a certain, but there was, like, extras into that. So I know that, like, one night I was just sitting there looking up supergroups because I was really into grunge in high school, which seems a little late for our older audience and stuff like that, because I get a lot of older people that tell me that I'm too young to know these bands. Just like grunge bands and stuff like that. So they're like, you're too young. And fair enough, because when this album came out, I was 7. I'm 25 now. But that doesn't mean I can't appreciate the old things. But Audioslave came out, and Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana. I don't know if they came out around the time I was alive, but they might have been some of them before, some of them after. But for sure, this album came out when I was 7. So I think this is like a super group.
Yeah.
And so it should be Rage Against the Machine and Soundgarden.
Yeah, so what it is, it's Soundgarden's lead singer and rhythm guitarist Chris Cornell with Rage Against the Machine members Tom Morello, Tim Comerford, and Brad Wilk.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it's all Rage Against the Machine band? Except for the singer?
Yeah, except for the singer.
Okay, so I was right. So that's what I thought it was. Is all of Rage Against the Machine, which if you don't know who they are, if we have any younger listeners, I was going to say younger listeners should look up Rage Against the Machine. You know what? Fuck it. Look up, if you're watching this podcast where we swear, it's explicit, we drink, we vape, look up Rage Against the Machine.
If you're an angry teenager, listen to Rage, and you're welcome.
Especially if you're angry at the government.
Or your mom, so whatever works.
Yeah, either works, I guess. We're terrible. Don't listen to anything we say. If you do, we're not reliable for anything that happens.
But do it anyways, because you only live once. So.
You're a piece of shit, Vita.
You only learn by mistakes, playa.
God damn it. So, so we got Audioslave. So this time the reason that we're listening with headphones is because it's going on Spotify and Apple Music. And so we don't want to get flagged for any copyright infringement. So if you want to listen to this with us, go ahead and go to Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon, whatever you listen to music on, YouTube, whatever it's got to be, and look up Audioslave's album, Audioslave.
Audioslave.
Boom. There you go. And then feel free to listen with us. And if you wonder what our last podcasts were like, go ahead and look us up on YouTube. Another little plug for YouTube.
Shameless.
If we didn't lose anybody yet,
we might now.
We might now.
That's all right. Didn't watch anyways. So.
All right, so I'm going to start the music, Vita. That's cool with you. Do you have anything else to say?
No,
all right. None of this is... I feel like most podcasts, it feels like most of the time they have like a line of certain things that they do in a row.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, me, you, me, you, me, you. None of this is scripted. We just kind of drink and do.
Yeah. That's why it sounds so bad. But it's entertaining, so.
Stick around. It's like hanging out with the homies.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so you guys aren't going to hear this, but I just clicked play, and we are 3 seconds in. So if you guys want to listen with us, go ahead and give it a go.
First song is Cochise? How would you say that? Cochise?
I think it's Cochise.
Nah, I mean...
Or Cochise. No. Cochise or Cochise? Cochise. There's no line above the E. I don't think it's A. Cochise.
I mean, if you don't have culture, I
Cochise,
guess, so.
which is actually, for some reason, I thought this was the album name. I don't know why. But, yeah, we do a lot more terrible with these podcasts. If we tried it once on the last podcast, and it was a lot harder when we couldn't hear the music, so we're trying it different this time.
So I was trying to look up the definition of Cochise.
Dude, our first episode on Spotify and Apple is going to be shitty.
Oh, yeah. But apparently Cochise was a leader of a little tribe, the Chokonin.
Oh, Indian?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a chief.
Chokonin, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vita's looking some stuff
Interesting. I probably shouldn't. That's not professional whatsoever. We need
No. You can look stuff up. Just, maybe give me a heads up so somebody's talking.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Audioslave is a phenomenal band.
So something I've never actually asked you before. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
How did you first hear of Audioslave?
It was definitely my uncles. My uncles are one of my, probably the biggest influencers of music that I listen to nowadays. They were hardcore, grunge, anything like Primus, heavy metal like, Lamb of God. I had one uncle that was hardcore into Lamb of God.
One of my cousins that you know fucking loves Lamb of God.
Really?
Yeah. I tried to get into him, and I like the instrumentals. I don't know. I'm not super big into heavy music.
Yeah.
Like that,
No,
that
I'm
hard
not
metal.
either.
I'm just not. Which sucks, but I mean, I'm sure we'll do an album of heavy metal in the future, so don't be discouraged if that's you. But that's the fun of this podcast, so I'm hoping that we get into new music.
But Audioslave was like a huge staple for both of my uncles. They had a couple posters up, and they always listened to them, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. They're big, like I said, huge influences on me. And whenever I think about Audioslave, I always think of like rebel skaters, like skateboarders and shit. I don't know why, but that's what my uncles were.
I like the.
That's how I always kind of saw them as I was growing up, as like rebels.
You say Southern?
No, saw them.
Saw them.
Yeah.
It's a little harder to hear now. I might have to take one headphone off.
Yeah, that's always how I kind of viewed them as I was growing up, as kind of rebels, and they skated and everything.
Oh, really?
So I tried to skate too, but I was horrific at it.
I remember seeing you at the skate park. So I used to skate a lot, and that was kind of my scene when I was in my I was gonna say teenage years, but that was me from. I guess I got my first skateboard at like 4.
Yeah.
And then I just skated up until I think 17, and then I became 18 and realized that if I break a leg, I can't go to fucking work. And then I gotta pay for shit. And so I was like, oh, well, that's a little hard.
That's responsible and turning an age, but also at the same time extremely sad.
I was gonna say it's responsible, but disappointing and
because I
depressing.
can't go to work if I break something.
Yeah, that's sad, man.
It's responsible, and it shows you're maturing, but it's also super sad.
Yeah, because I fucking love skating.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get off on like a skating like side branch or whatever, but it hit me hard.
But I would say Audioslave definitely, maybe not all of them, but I think it had to do a lot in the skateboarder scene.
Yeah, I did. I feel so. Yeah, I get that. I feel so.
Because they have that.
I feel so.
I feel so good.
I feel so good.
Well, they just have like this vibe of almost like Rage, but not as hard, where it's just like fuck everything. But maybe it's just more of how their music is played.
Rage?
No, Audioslave.
Oh, okay.
And this song, so we're on to the next one. This one is Show Me How to Live, which I'm sure everybody's heard. It's a phenomenal song and definitely one of their biggest.
Which is true. And also, I want to get back to the old song real quick.
Okay.
Unless you have something to say.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Cochise.
Because we didn't acknowledge that song.
That's sorry, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
It's kind of a stumble start.
So, yeah, it has been a stumble start. This is not... Okay, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple and you've made it this far, our podcasts aren't usually all the way this way. And if you liked that, we can make it all the way that way. But, no, so, about the chorus, something that I really like about that is the go on and save yourself and take it out on me. That feels poetry to me.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
Go on and save yourself and take it out on me.
But he's almost, because he says something, I think, later on.
And, I'll say it at the end. Well, I'll say it sometime.
But so for me, that verse, go on and save yourself and take it out on me, it sounds like you're being a martyr for somebody. You know, you're sacrificing yourself.
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
On the next line, it says, I'm not a martyr, I'm not a prophet. So it's like, but here's a caution, you better understand that I won't hold your hand, but if it helps you mend, then I won't stop it.
Ooh. It sounds like a toxic relationship.
It does. It does. A toxic relationship where it's just...
And we've all been in one.
Where you love the person so much, it's like, I can't be with you, but whatever, if you need to fucking spit hate at me to make you feel better, then that's fine. You go ahead and spit that hate.
I've had that relationship, man.
Ain't we all, dog? Ain't we all?
It's that love at the time where you're like, I'm willing to go into it, but at the same time you're like, should I pull out? Should I stay in? What do I do? You know?
I have that same thought process as I'm about to finish. Yeah.
What?
Do I stay in or do I pull out?
Alright, well, I feel like an idiot because that straight went over my head. That took me a second. I was like, what are you talking about? Because you just stared at me just like,
I was
waiting for me to acknowledge that, and I was like, I don't understand. I'm at a fucking loss.
No, I feel that. I think it's a toxic relationship is right on the tee for that song.
And you looked up what Cochise meant?
Yeah, he was apparently some leader for this tribe. He was a chief or something.
Did it say what tribe?
Yeah, the Chokin? Kachokin? I think it was Chakotay.
You said it on the podcast. Whoever's listening paid attention.
I'm not about to look it up again.
I'm drunk right now, so it's a little hard to figure out. But, you know, stay in school, kids. Don't drink until you're 21. I stayed in school and didn't drink till I was 21. And I mean that, actually. I graduated barely, but I did. Anyway. Fuck.
But yeah, no, I like that a lot. Go on and save yourself and take it out on me.
Yeah, that's a beautiful line right there. It's just like I think beautiful when you not crave those relationships, it's that subconscious relationship of like loving the hate.
Yeah. It's like a guilty pleasure.
It is. It's that guilty pleasure of you know, I hate this, but somewhere in the back of me loves this. It
goes with the perfect line for every toxic relationship. When things were good, they were fantastic, but when things were bad, they were horrible.
Ooh.
And I think that's what every toxic relationship is. It's because when you're not fighting and things are good, it's like pure ecstasy. But then the second the hat flips, it's the exact opposite. And it's not like a subtle, like, a little bit of argument. It's like full on, fuck you, I hate you. Like, verbal, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like, not physical. If it's physical, then that's completely, you should get out of it. But I think we've all said some horrible things in toxic relationships before, and we're not all too proud of, and you grow from, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know? It's one of those things you
make mistakes and you figure out what you said wrong and what you did wrong, and not figure out what you said wrong is in like the sense of like, oh, I should never say that again because it hurt her. It is more in the sense of like, you realize after the argument, because when you're just full of anger and full of rage, is you will say some things that you just don't mean.
Spit some
and
fire.
It's like, yeah, and then you look back on it later, like, that wasn't something I should have said.
It's not the best fucking move I could have done, but...
No, it's not. And I think everybody is guilty of that. It doesn't matter what gender you are. that everybody's guilty of saying some things to, and that's not even just in a relationship, just to anybody, is you'll say some things that you just are like, oh.
Or if you're just on the other side, like maybe you don't spit poison yourself, but the other person does, and you're like, all I have to do is get through this, because once that person calms down, everything's going to be better.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah. I feel you.
So
it gets there.
Yeah.
It do that.
It be like that sometimes.
It be like that sometimes. So the next song we got is Show Me How to Live, and I'm going to click play on it again so we can hear a little bit more music. But so this is Show Me How to Live.
Just a fucking pure banger, man.
Oh, fuck yeah. So I love this song because it's two different things for me.
Alright.
So it's one, a fantastic listen. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who Audioslave is, or you only like a Stone, this is probably the second best, in my opinion, song to listen to.
Okay.
I fucking love Show Me How to Live. That or Shadow on the Sun.
Yeah.
And that's coming later. But those are my favorite songs. Is Like a Stone, Show Me How to Live, and Like a Stone, Shadow on the Sun, and Show Me How to Live. But I like this one because, so when I got into Audioslave, for me personally, so I get really hard into music sometimes, and I was really into Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Rage Against the Machine and just a bunch of grunge bands, grunge and angry bands in high school. So I did a lot of Googling.
Yeah.
I just did a lot of fucking Googling, which sounds weird to say out loud knowing our age.
Because most people would just say research now.
Yeah.
It's just research. But you're just getting on Google. Right
Yes, I got on Google and researched, in quotes.
Yeah.
But I looked all this stuff up and was trying to find different bands to listen to because I was like, well, all I got is Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Audioslave,
Nirvana.
And...
Nirvana, was that part of it? Nirvana?
I've never been big into Nirvana. I like their hits, and that's about it. Sorry to disappoint anybody. I'm sure we'll do a Nirvana album at some point.
Oh, for sure.
But Nirvana's never been my favorite, and I fucking love grunge.
Yeah.
But Nirvana's not one of my favorites, and I know that they're like held as like what Elvis Presley is to rock, is what Nirvana is to grunge. And so it's like, okay, well, so I should think of them as the highest. But personally, I think Pearl Jam is the highest for grunge.
Yeah.
I put Pearl Jam at the top of grunge. For me, that is the crown king. To me. They might not be the first ones to come out with it, but they made the best sound that I think. And so I'm like, okay. But this song is amazing. Oh, there we got that crack.
To the audience, there you go.
Little beer crack right there. Drinking a little Bud Light tonight.
Keep it classy.
Yeah, classy with the Bud Light. I don't know if classy is Bud Light. Bud Light is more of we're having a bonfire and yelling at our women because we're trying to have a good time. We'll get another crack.
Oh yeah,
there it is.
You do's.
But no. So this song to me is more of, like I said, I was listening to it in high school and stuff. And I was trying to find, during my high school years, I was trying to find God. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to get too religious on the podcast. You believe in what you want to believe. But I was Googling and looking up a bunch of fucking, just all the religions that I could. Because where we're from, and if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, this will be the first time that you know, we are from Utah.
Boom.
And so, obviously, as everybody knows, there is a lot of fucking Mormons in Utah. And there is. There just is. And so I thought, that you had to grow up Mormon, you had to get baptized, blah, 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 which my parents never pushed it for me, but they were like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. And the only reason I did it is because, well, that's what I thought you did, because there's so many of them. But anyway, so I was trying to figure out what religion I belonged to later on in my life, and I was Googling a lot of them, and at the time, I thought I was atheist. And so I was like, I'm atheist, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in any of that. So this song hit me hard. Is nail in my head, or what's the lyrics exactly? Guys, I know them if I sing along with it, but I don't want to fuck this up while I'm singing. So, nail in my hand. So nail in my hand from my creator. You gave me a life, now show me how to live. So the parts that hit me the most was, you gave me a life, now show me how to live. Is I was angry at God for a minute. Is, you gave me this life. Show me how to live it.
Yeah.
show me what I need to do. At least you don't have to pinpoint every little crevice of what I need to do, but like, give me a little guidance. Show me the way that I need to roll with. Like, show me how to live.
It's called church, playa.
It is. But as I grew, just to finish this for anybody who's listening that wonders, is what I became was agnostic, because I can't tell anybody that there isn't a God, but I can't tell people that there is a God. I'm just kind of in between, of just like, there's not enough proof that says there is, but there's not enough proof that says there isn't. So, I don't know. That's where I stand. But this was like an anger song to me. Is one of those, like, shout at the skies because I was really depressed, you know, teenagers with the fucking angst and shit, is you just get angry, and I was just like, you know, basically put the fist in the air, show me how to live. But that's what this song means to me.
I like it. I think it's right on point.
But it's also a banger, too, so.
It never came to me to something like that.
No?
Like, it was just a song I heard, and I liked it, but I get where you're coming from, because I kind of felt the same thing, like, show me how to live, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Nobody does.
Nobody ever does, but a little teenage Vita at the time, listen to it, it's like, yeah, somebody, like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I could have some type of guidance, you know?
Yeah. Guidance is always nice. Yeah. You know, you get that.
It's nice, but sometimes it's unwarranted, so you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Sometimes you want to go with your parents and figure out what your parents have to say if you don't have parents, you know, when you're in and out between, like me, where you're like, your parents are kind of there, they're kind of not, or you have people that are like, you know, my parents aren't there. And then you have people that have their parents there, you know. You want somebody to hold your hand and say, hey,
yeah,
this is what you got to do. Because school prepares you for a lot, but school doesn't prepare you for everything.
Show you how to do fucking taxes.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually don't show you how to do that shit. And so it's like, all right, well show me what I need to do. Mm-hmm. You know, how do I get here? What's the trail I follow? Do I go left? Do I go right? Where do I go? Mm-hmm. And so it's a nice angry song to be like, somebody. It doesn't even have to be towards God, just somebody. Show me how to live.
Yeah, just need a helping hand, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I feel that. I like that.
Hell yeah.
I like that interpretation.
By the way, you tell me when you're ready to move on to the next song.
Hit that shit, dude.
Alright, I also love the end to Show Me How to Live. This part. Because it's all edited, and he's just doing a little, and then it, like, moves up and down through pitches. Yeah. And I fucking love it.
This is vibing, dude.
It reminds me of Egypt.
I feel that.
For some reason, it just does.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So now we got a little gasoline.
Gasoline.
Gotta get that gasoline, gotta burn that gasoline. One of the two. I don't remember exactly what he says, but I know that he does.
Let's burn that. This song, I thought, is like perfect angry driving music.
Especially fuck yeah. I always drive angry to this song.
When this chorus hits, dude, you better be hitting like a hundo, dude. 95 at least. Better be hitting a hundo in that car.
Jesus.
Just fucking pissed. Work, whatever the fuck.
I want to agree, but I also don't want to get sued. So I agree with everything Vita said, but also don't drive 100 miles an hour.
Also, do it. So.
Little disclaimer, don't.
But it's weird because...
You do you, boo-boo.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah. But, like, the beginning is so mellow and so soothing, really. But then the chorus hits, and it's just, you're fucking slamming gears, dude. Got a little stick shit.
Slamming them in.
Fucking getting it. I like this song. It's a good one. He definitely does have that fucking grunge noise.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, Audioslave... So, this is the weird little thing. Well, if you have more to say, I'm not going to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Okay. So, back when I got hard into grunge in high school, I told my buddy that I was hanging out with in high school a lot, I was like, hey, Audioslave, Soundgarden, and Pearl Jam all sound like the same fucking band to me, just slightly different.
Yeah.
I was like, grunge. Soundgarden is a little more heavy, like more metal-ish. Pearl Jam is straight grunge, and Audioslave is... They're all grunge, and then Audioslave is like this grunge with these weird stutters of I was like, it reminds me of Rage Against.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, not Rise Against.
Tom Morello.
Shut the fuck up. Yes, and I didn't know that. I didn't know this. And then found out later that fucking Rage Against the Machine in for Audioslave, Rage Against the Machine and Chris Cornell was the singer. I was like, oh, That's why they sound the fucking same.
Yeah.
And then I got shown a supergroup, which is another podcast we'll do later, which is Temple of the Dog, where Pearl Jam and Soundgarden collided
Interesting.
and did their own fucking band.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because I thought they all sounded the same. And Chris Cornell does the vocals mostly for Temple of the Dog. And, what's his name from Pearl Jam? I like Pearl Jam more than Soundgarden, but I can't remember his fucking name. Eddie Vedder. Eddie Vedder does the background vocals.
Oh, okay.
And then you can tell the difference between the voice. If you're like me and you think they sound the same, you'll hear it in Temple of the Dog, you go, oh, they sound different. But for some reason they sounded the same to me.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, until you actually look into it,
And it is.
it's going to sound the same, but...
It did that to me.
And then you looked into it, and then you just, every time you can hear the difference in it, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
you'll
right.
know. Because Chris Cornell has a deeper voice, and Eddie Vedder has a higher voice, but Eddie Vedder also does the higher than he normally does in Pearl Jam.
Okay.
So it's extra easy to tell the difference. The thing I was going to get at later, unless there's something you want to say about this
go
song,
right ahead, dude. You just
something I was going to say earlier is rest in peace Chris Cornell. Because he died in 2019 or 2018. It might have been 2017.
Definitely not 19.
Yeah, it wasn't 2019.
I think I was
We
still
worked
in
at
the
that same
apartment
place
when
together.
When he passed.
Yeah, we worked at that same place together.
Yeah.
And when he passed, and it hit me really fucking hard because
Shit, that had been like fucking... Yeah, 16 or 17.
Shit. So yeah, it's been a minute. So that's something I wanted to bring up since we're listening to Audioslave and Chris Cornell as the singers. I wanted to give a little shout out, well, not really a shout out, but like a little rest in peace to Chris
Give
Cornell.
it a quick moment of silence for the man.
The music industry lost a big man. Take a beer to that.
Rest in peace, player. Beautiful music.
And we'll get to Linkin Park later, and I only say Linkin Park because I don't know if you knew, but Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington were
Yeah, they were pretty good friends.
They were really good friends. I didn't know that until the day.
You told me that, actually.
Did I?
Yeah.
I know too much dumb shit about music that I probably shouldn't know, but yeah, they were best friends, and then Chester killed himself on Chris Cornell's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, rest in peace to Chris
Sad
Cornell.
shit. Rest in
Music
peace.
industry will never be the same without you, and that goes for a lot of other artists that are out there,
Yeah.
Hold on as best as you can.
Switch it over to a little lighthearted note. I remember Audioslave came out with an album. I don't remember which one, but my uncles were stoked for it. And I guess...
You say they came out with an album? I'm
Yeah.
drunk, sorry.
Yeah, they came out with an album. And I think on the album cover, it shows like a little island, but it's in the shape of their little flame symbol.
Oh.
And,
I think I know which album you're talking about.
yeah, if you could pull it up right quick. But
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll pull it up real quick.
my uncles...
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
notice. So it's Revelations. I didn't even notice that was a... As I looked at that, I was like, that's not the way that any continent looks.
There was some fucking... There was
But-
like some other picture where it almost looked like Google Maps. And my uncle pulled it up. He's like, yo, dude, check it out. You know Audioslave? They just found this fucking island out in the ocean, dude. It's crazy. He pulled it up. I was like, there's no fucking way that's the island. It's like, I'm like, you're bullshitting me. He was like, no, dude, for sure. Like, look, I'm on Google Maps right now. This is a real thing. They just barely found out about it. And started spitting off a bunch of random ass facts. I was like, no way, that's fucking wild. And I started
So
getting cold chills. I was like, dude, there's no way an island is the shape of their fucking flame, dude. I'm like, that's some like prophecy fulfilling bullshit.
Some
I
prophecy
started,
fulfilling.
Like, my head starts swirling, and he just starts laughing his ass off. He's like, nah, I'm bullshitting. And I was like, fuck you, dude. How dare you? He had me so good. I was like, what the fuck?
So it was a fake picture.
Yeah, it was a fake picture.
Okay.
But he had me.
I was like, I haven't
what
seen
the
any island that
fuck?
looks like that.
He had
like,
me
what
so
the
good. I was looking at it. I was like, there's no way. He's like, yeah, for sure, dude. You think I'm lying? Look, it said Google Maps, dude. How could I change it on Google Maps?
Can I change it on Google
I was
Maps?
like, no fucking way. That's so wild.
Dude pulled up Google Images.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he did. I wish I remember what he did, but I had like cold chills. I was like, whoa, dude, that's some next level shit. Like,
Oh
this
my
means
God.
something.
The end is coming or the beginning is here.
Yeah. I was like,
One of the
what
fucking two.
fuck? And I got so excited too for like the split second of my mind just swirling. I was like, what is this fucking island, dude? Like, this is a big island. How the fuck did nobody see this?
How is this gone unchecked?
It's like some Jumanji shit, dude. What the fuck? Not
Some
Jumanji.
Jumanji shit.
Like
What you thinking of?
King Kong on the Lost Island or some shit.
Shit, the first King Kong? I don't remember.
But it's always like some Lost Island shit. I'm like, there's gotta be some fucking crazy ass shit on that, dude. We just discovered this giant ass fucking island. There's no way. Yeah, I'm a fucking fool. Fucking had me, huh? Yeah.
Trying to be quiet about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, made an absolute fool of me. Like I full on believed him. And I still think about it this day, and I feel like a complete idiot.
I wish I could see the picture of this island.
Me just being stupid, because this island, it was like the perfect exact shape of it. Like, so if you're looking at the album cover, unfortunately for people who are listening to the podcast.
So if you don't know what anybody listening is, if you Google it, or if you just want to hear a description, I'll give you a quick description real quick. It's Audioslave. It's like it looks like another planet kind of thing. So kind of like I think of like a desert. Like
I'm talking about their symbol.
Well, what I'm saying is just like what the album cover looks like. It reminds me of a desert, but like maybe Mars, with a person walking with a red shirt and a fire, like a flame statue. Yeah,
it's almost like a golden copper type flame.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
And those like little contours, like the definition of it. You get what I'm saying? How
okay.
It kind of like edges out. Yeah. Like they had mountains.
You can show it.
Oh yeah, sorry. I apologize.
Why you explain it? That's all good. I'll zoom in on it.
But they have like they had mountains with a definition of everything where it kind of like stands out a little bit more. They had mountains, and it was the island, the shore of it was the exact shape. It's like, there's no fucking way, dude. That's so wild. Is that where they got the symbol? And he's like, I don't know, dude. It must have. How could it be that perfect? Maybe they knew before.
How could it be that perfect?
I was like, dude, no way.
Just straight up pranking your
He led me on for like 15 minutes, and then finally he bursts up laughing. He's like, you're a fucking retard. I was like, fuck you.
How old were you?
I'd have been maybe 12.
I was hoping you'd be like, I don't know, like 12.
This was like a month ago.
So like, I don't know, this was like 6 months ago. Like,
I mean, recent, you know, I don't know, but he fucking had me. And I still think about it this day. I'm like, I'm a
fool.
Idiot.
I got fooled, bamboozled, dude.
I've been had.
In it. But yeah, so is there any like album artwork in here that's like...
There is a little bit. So what we always like to do to the new podcast listeners, our whole thing is that we try to influence buying CDs, because there's nothing better than going out and buying a fresh new CD, whether it's something that just dropped or it's an album that holds close and dear to your heart that you want to pick up. And one of the biggest reasons to pick up CDs is these album cover arts. They are the best, and it's always, some of them give you cool little insider bits about the band, of how they made the album, or sometimes it's just random bullshit, and you sit there looking and like, what does any of this mean?
Yeah.
Because it's always some like weird artistic shit, and you're like, all right, so it's a hip hop band, but they have this picture of a goat out in the field. Like, why would they do that? It's just some weird shit of what maybe the publisher is taking a hold of, and they're like, oh, people will like this.
Artisticness.
Or it's like the artist being like, this speaks so much to what I'm rapping about, goats and fields. It just, I can't think of a better picture.
I love that you say that, because, and I don't mean to, I don't mean to bring up my music every fucking podcast.
Shameless.
Yeah. Plug is, my music, I do the same exact thing. Is I'll put certain words or a certain tone in a song, hoping somebody picks up on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh god, it's so poetic.
Yeah.
And if somebody picks this up, they're like a hardcore fan. They're like, oh my god.
They're a true listener of my words.
And I feel that way.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. It's because I do that dumb shit.
Which is funny, because I'm pretty sure it's a Nirvana quote. I don't know if it's word for word, but it's like, he knows every word but doesn't know what it means. So that would speak.
An artist said that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's.
I know every word but don't know what it means?
No, I'm pretty sure it's in Teen Spirit. He knows every word but doesn't know what it means.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's, you know how Teen Spirit is. You've heard that song, right? Yeah, you've heard it.
Yeah, even that song I can't even put together how it's poetic, in a sense of like the Chili Peppers put together weird lyrics. Mm-hmm. And I can generally pick out what it meant. Mm-hmm. I've never been able to configure Smells Like Teen Spirit to me. Well, I'm like, I have no
some
fucking
of the
idea.
lyrics in these songs are just wild. I mean, just a fucking bad example. Sometimes it'll say that. It's like, he knows every word but doesn't know what it means. Fills his car up with gas, but it doesn't go anywhere. Like, well, okay, what's that?
Wait. I think it's Heart-Shaped Box that Nirvana says that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Heart-Shaped Box. He says something similar to that.
Huh.
Yeah, like along those lines in Nirvana is he sings every word but doesn't know what it means, something like that. Along those lines.
I remember singing
If we were hearing the song, I'd fucking be able to sing it.
I remember hearing that for the first time.
Different.
I remember hearing that for the first time, and it was well into knowing the song and knowing every word, and I finally heard it, and I just like hit. I was like, oh, I'm that fucking dude.
I'm that fucking dude.
I'm an idiot.
I remember hearing Nirvana's Heart-Shaped Box and thinking the exact same fucking thing. So we definitely skipped over What You Are, but now we're listening to Like a Stone. And this song meant a lot to me during a breakup. I know that all of our podcasts, for some reason, come back to a breakup.
We're just a bunch of emotional boys.
I'm an emotional boy. That's what I do. But music fucking hits hard when you're emotional, I feel like.
Yeah, that's when you hear it the most.
You know, just like, in your house, I long to be, room by room, patiently. I'll wait for you there, like a stone.
Ugh.
I'll wait for you there, alone.
I want to start crying already.
I don't know why I read it like a poem.
I don't know why Chris Cornell has to know me so goddamn well, but he needs to back off a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. And like during the girl that in previous podcast episodes I talked about it, so go back and listen to those. So I'm not going to explain it
on CDTalk YouTube.
Word.
Shameless.
CDTalk YouTube, shameless plug. But the older episodes, because I think this is 14, like episode 14. But just like in your house, I long to be. It's just like, you know what? I wish I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was there to like listen to what you have to say right now. I wish I was there to be in your house, to just be there with you and figure this out. And then it's like room by room, patiently, is like I'm searching through the rooms trying to find you. But for some reason, you're not in any of these rooms. No matter which room, even if it's yours, like you're not in any of these rooms. And then it was like, I'll wait for you there like a stone. Is just like, you know what? I'll sit here and I'll wait, hoping you'll come around. I'll sit here like a stone in the same place that you left me. I'm sitting here, waiting.
I like that.
Just waiting for you to come.
See, the way I kind of see it is, like you said, with the breakup, but it's still holding on to the feelings and kind of watching the person, especially nowadays. With Instagram and Facebook, even if that person breaks up with you, you can still follow their lives. So I think
stalking.
Yeah, not as creepy.
A gentle way of stalking, I guess.
I mean, I think we've all been there, but a way of like, I still see your struggles, and I'm still here in every room. You're good. I'm still here in every room and every aspect of your life and struggles, supporting you, but you're not here to see any of it. That's why you're never in that room. I'm in your house. I'm in your rooms alone. Because I'm on the outside. You get what I'm saying? I'm on the outside of your life being supportive, but you don't see it because I'm not there.
That's even more deep than I fucking took it.
That's the way I see it.
I feel that. That song's always meant a lot to me, and honestly,
hit you in the gut.
If anybody's listening to the podcast that doesn't know who Audioslave is, you know Like a Stone.
I was going to say...
That's their biggest
Like
hit.
a Stone... Oh, man, I got to say...
I think that's why we didn't talk about it while it was playing.
Show Me How to Live has to be the biggest. Well known.
No.
You may know the song and not even realize it, and then you
everybody-
hear it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard that.
I think everybody knows Like a Stone. I guarantee it's the biggest on Spotify. Is Like a Stone. I promise you, my guy. Like a Stone has to be their biggest fucking song. Look at that. And then it's Be Yourself, which is on a different album. Then Show Me How to Live. And then Cochise, and then I Am the Highway on Spotify.
Interesting.
And this is through Spotify.
And what was that? 4 out of the 5 top hits are all from this album, Audioslave.
Yep. And then Revelations was one of them. That being said, their other albums are pretty good too.
Yeah.
Revelations is my least favorite, but it's still a good album.
So, weird little snippet that I've kind of seen. They were ranking music by people's IQ's level. So, and they had it all pinned down, like, the more intellectual and higher IQ rating people like their IQ were.
They listen to metal.
They listened to stuff like Audioslave. And like most of the poppy bands coming out, like Beyonce at the time when they took the survey, T-Swift and all them, they were like the lower IQs.
I remember reading something similar.
Audioslave was like the higher percentile.
I remember reading something similar, but I thought that I heard that the people with the highest IQ generally listen to metal.
I can see that. That's interesting.
You can see that?
Yeah.
I can't see that.
I can see it.
I get it.
Well, it depends on what type of metal, I think. Because I don't think it's like hardcore death metal.
Mostly Metallica.
I can see that. Because
really?
I think it has to do with the instrument play. Because a lot of these bands, it's not just vocal, it's always like guitars, drums, other instruments. It's not like synthesized noises as you hear in the mainstream pop songs that come out.
Yeah.
When it's an actual band coming out with instruments and everything, there's more thought into it, and it'll lean more onto the instruments than most of the pop songs will.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I think in that way, I can see how a higher IQ level would listen to it more, because I think in a way they hear it more, quote unquote, hear it more and appreciate it more, because they maybe see the effort put in.
If you're on YouTube, hit us up in the comments and tell me this. And if you're on Spotify or iTunes, go to our podcast description and you can leave a little voice message for us. And if you want to, we can play it. If you don't want us to play it on the podcast, let us know in the voice message that you don't want us to play it on the podcast, but we'll address it. Is along the lines of that. I can't tell what they're saying in a lot of those songs when they're screaming.
Oh, absolutely.
Personally, I can't.
I can't.
So I want to know, do you just understand what they're saying and I'm stupid? Or do you look up I said that condescending, but or I'm stupid, or do you look up the lyrics and hear it? Because I genuinely don't know. Like, do you look up the lyrics and then you go, now I understand it, and then, because I'm the same with Deftones. I can't fucking understand what most of the verse is. I just can't. And so later I look up the lyrics and I go, oh, I know what you're saying now. And then I sing the song later and I know and I feel it more. Mm-hmm. But I want to know, like, when you listen to like Screamo or where they're like screaming, do you know what they're saying most of the time? Yeah. But like I said, go to our in Spotify or Apple Music. If you go into our album description, you can leave a little voice note. If you're on YouTube, you can go into the comments section and let us know. But anyway, it's just something that's like made me wonder for a while. Can you really understand that? I don't know.
Some people do. I
don't mean it in a rude way.
One of the uncles that were very influenced, like I mentioned earlier, he listened to like I said, Lamb of God and all those hardcore like screamo metal bands. And I asked him, like, dude, how do you listen to this? You can't even understand it. He's like, oh, I understand every word. I was like, bullshit, dude.
See, and I hear that a lot from my friends that listen to that music. They're like, I understand every word. And I'm like, how?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because I can't hear it. I can't hear a single word.
But hey, maybe they have a better IQ than I do. Or maybe they just have better ears. I don't know.
Not better. You get that better IQ, you might be able to understand every word better. I don't know. So, right now what is playing is, I think we skipped over 2 songs now, but Shadow on the Sun.
This was like the first song I heard by Audioslave.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Like a Stone is why I bought this album.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, because I fucking was obsessed with Like a Stone and Something by Soundgarden and another song.
See, I like a Stone, but it's not my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, it's good, but
I fucking love it. And I generally don't like the most famous song, and not on purpose. Yeah. I just do. Well, okay, sometimes I like oh, that's a lie. Sometimes I like the most famous song, and sometimes I hate the most famous song, but I like the other stuff. So I guess that goes all around in a weird way. But Like a Stone is one of my favorites by Audioslave. That was the first song I ever heard because it was played on the radio a lot when I was a kid. Yeah. I just heard it all the fucking time, but when I was in high school and was going through that breakup, it hit harder. But later on I looked up Audioslave when I figured out who sang Like a Stone, and looked up Shadow on the Sun. Or not looked up Shadow on the Sun, I came across Shadow on the Sun. Yeah. And this is one of my favorites by him. I fucking love the chorus. Is just like I can tell you why people go insane. Just that shit hits in a different way. Like, you know what? I'm insane, but let me tell you why people do, and I can show you why you would do the same.
Takes one to know one.
It does, and it's like walk a mile in my shoes kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Hold on.
Figure it out. Let me show you.
I like that.
You know? But I don't understand what shadow on the sun means. Is maybe on the darkness and the brightest light? I don't know.
I see that. I see that. I think it does definitely, because the shadow on the sun, you would think there's no shadows on the sun.
Yeah, there can't be.
Well, yeah. Exactly.
But like to be the shadow on the sun, you would have to be fucking dark.
God,
I imagine like a trench coat, like whipping it over, like flipping the sides open, just
just like a vampire.
You just don't understand. Grow fangs and stuff.
Yeah.
Just some stuff like that. But like, yeah, just to be like the shadow on the sun would have to be like the darkest there is. But just there's something about the sun, or something about this song that makes me think it's just like, you know what? Everybody could go insane given the right circumstances.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't gone insane yet, let me show you why I have. Mm-hmm. Before you fucking judge why I've gone insane and, you know, flipped out and done all these weird things, let me show you why I did this. Mm. You know? Once you walk a mile in these shoes, you'll figure it out. Let me show you why I am the shadow on the sun.
Perfect. Right when the song ended? Perfect. Dude.
Oh, fuck yeah. And then we got I Am the Highway, which is playing now. And it's a beautiful song. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever heard this song. If you're looking for beautiful, look up I Am the Highway. You don't think you've ever heard this? This is one of my other favorites by Audioslave. I fucking love I Am the Highway.
Hitting the deep notes.
Yeah, so it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is getting walked over kind of in a relationship, but you just kind of take the hits, you take the punches. And you're just kind of like, it hurts. Don't stop though. I'm gonna keep on you.
Every time you hit me, you're still touching me.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm gonna give you flowers. Hit me. Here's some flowers.
Oh, I think I have heard this.
Let me show you. It's that's the way I think of this song. Is but also at the same time, it's one of those songs. Well, not at the same time. It's a contradiction the way I think of it, which is hit me as many times as you like. I'm still gonna come back. But this is like that moment of when you're fighting and you say some things during one of the times that you say some things that you don't mean.
Yeah.
But this one you meant.
Okay.
Is like I Am the Highway. Is let me look up the lyrics real quick, because it's easier when I'm hearing the chorus, because I can sing it, but it's different when you're just, you know, going about like we are
just
right now.
Just talking about it.
But I'm not your rolling wheels. I'm the highway. I'm not your carpet ride. I'm the sky. So like, I'm not your rolling wheels. I'm not the one to keep you going all the time.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So like, you can't rely on me so much every day to be the one who gets you to your destination. Sometimes you kind of got to figure that out yourself. And then I'm not your carpet ride. I'm the sky. In the sense of, you know, I'm not the one who takes you to your destination. I'm the one who helps you get there.
Yeah.
But I'm not the cab driver.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like, I'm not the end goal. I'm the start.
Yeah.
There'll be others.
When you say turn right, I'm the one that says, well, maybe you should turn left right here, because, you know, it's on the east side, not the west side.
Yeah.
So maybe we should turn left here.
I'm not the first one. There'll be other ones beyond me. So I'm just a stepping stone for you to use.
Yes. Stepping stone is the perfect way, is what I think of this, is I'm not your stepping stone entirely. I can be there when you need me to be your stepping stone, but I'm not fully your stepping stone, which I think of in an independent way. And I think everybody, in my opinion, everybody should be independent to an extent. Because you need somebody to help you.
Yeah.
Whether that's another guy, another girl, you need somebody to help you get through life.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't use that person as your stepping stone for every single step you take. You gotta kind of figure some things out on your own, you know? And it hits hard in the sense of, you know, in the opposite way, because I've been this person.
Yeah.
Making the person feel like they're not my carpet rider, they're not my wheels. You know? Is, you know, I've definitely done it personally, is accidentally using somebody as every stepping stone. I need you to tell me what to do. I need you to show me where to go. Because without you, I'm nothing. I need you to show me the way. And without you, I can't get there. And you know, and you should be 50-50 in a relationship, I feel like. But I feel like most of these songs are relationship based. Either that or I take them all as relationship based. One of the two.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a relationship like that where you just feel like, you know, you're the stepping stone, or you were the the one walking on the stones?
Felt like I was definitely, maybe not a stepping stone, but definitely almost like using weird metaphors. I was like a handrail. Almost, I guess, rebound. I don't know, rebound. I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, that's kind of what it was, but I felt more of like something for him to catch as a support real quick for them to get back on their feet and then eventually move on. So, I guess, yeah, in a sense, it was the highway. You know, definitely kind of used in a sense, but I don't think they actually thought like, oh, I'm just going to lean on this person for a minute. I think it was just, you know, sometimes you meet a person and you catch on to them and it doesn't work out, and it is what it is. You know, you realize why you're actually there, and you're like, well, fuck, that's not the right reason, and just keep moving.
I get that. That shit, sometimes it's, you know, different things, you know, I don't know, it's different relationships, different circumstances, and things like that, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
It just depends on, you know, what you've gone through in your life and how you're getting there. So the next song is Explorer. Do you know this song? Oh, Exploder. I'm stupid. Explorer.
I have heard
Explorer.
I have heard I Am
Exploder.
the Highway. I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. As it was playing, I was like, oh yeah, I know this song.
So, I don't know much about this song. But I fucking think the chorus is a banger. Which is that if you're free, you'll never see the walls. And he's like, if you're free, you'll never see the walls. Anyway, fucking Chris Cornell's beautiful voice. And if your head is clear, you'll never free fall. If you're right, you'll never fear the wrong. If your head is high, you'll never fear at all. So as we were listening to this before the podcast, generally, sometimes we listen to the entire podcast all the way through. Or, not the podcast. Sometimes we listen to the album all the way through.
There you go.
But this time we decided to use headphones, and so we were like, oh yeah. Sorry about that loud noise. I was like, yeah, we'll just listen to it during the podcast. And so I don't know much about this song besides that I do listen to it and it's a banger. Do you know this song?
I don't know this one.
No?
No.
Alright, well then we'll go ahead and skip this.
Skip this. I think.
It's a good song though. It's a banger.
I think we need to take a quick break for our ad.
Oh yeah, little ad break.
From our sponsors. Check it out.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. So after that little ad break, so the next song we got right now is Hypnotize. So I'm just going to click on that and play that real quick.
As always, dude, these songs, sometimes you can get lost in the interpretation of songs. You can. And I think this is absolutely one of them. I mean, it's kind of simple right off the bat. I mean, the first verse is basically just being supportive to, I would say maybe a relationship.
Yeah?
Yeah. Or maybe not even a relationship, just being supportive to a friend. You know?
Just be taken however you want it to be taken.
Yeah, because everything he's saying, you've got everything you wanted, you've done everything you planned. So being supportive, you know?
Okay.
So let me make you an offer. I'm only trying to help. You can make your load just a little lighter. All you got to do is share the wealth. Oh. So I think it's saying, even though like you make a lot of plans and you achieve every plan you've made and you've gained so much success, there can be an overwhelming problems after that, right?
Okay.
Because everybody thinks it's greener on the other side, and Biggie says the best, mo money, mo problems. We're all trying to make mo money, so when you make mo money, there's always going to be...
It's always going to be extra shit that you didn't think about before.
When you achieve those goals, not necessarily money, when you achieve that position in your career, or you achieve this point in your life you've been looking for so long, now that you're there, you didn't realize the problems that comes with that position, or that extra cash flow, you know? So it's saying, like, well, if you're having problems with it, just like give some of it back here. I'm not saying like give me your money or whatever, but just because you've made it so far doesn't mean you can't still lean on me. It doesn't mean you can't share
so it's
some
like
of
the
those
opposite
problems.
of what we were just talking about, where it's like you're leaning on me too much. It's more of like you can still lean on me when you have to.
Like you're trying to bear all this weight on you and you don't need to because I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I kind of take this one. I think Hypnotize. I guess I was going to say Hypnotize is kind of a weird song name, but in that way it's like you can get hypnotized by the chase and the end goal that when you get there, it slaps you in the face and you don't realize what everything is after that.
Okay.
So now it's just like, you're good, dude. Like, you don't have to fucking deal with this all by yourself just because you're a new person or now that you're making money doesn't mean that life will be easier for you.
Okay.
We still have problems. We still have things to deal with. And as a true friend, as a good spouse, or just a good person, like, I'll be there through it all, you know? I've been there through the bad, now I can be here through the good.
Help you along this path kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
This was a song that I never really got hard into, but it's a good song, like just to listen to as background noise, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I've never actually heard this song, to be
No?
completely honest. Yeah. Like I said, I like Audioslave quite a bit, but they were never a band. I don't know. I think we all have those bands where we have people in our lives that we know like them so much, and then we're like, oh yeah, dude, I like that band too. Like, they're great. But then you realize you only listen to the biggest hits, or you only listen to those songs when you're with that person. So then you start to realize, it's like, oh, I really don't fucking know this band whatsoever, and I'm not even a fucking fan of them, you know? That's almost how Audioslave is for me, but I actually do like them quite a bit.
See, and I know that at one point you like pointed out that you like Audioslave, and it really caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, Vita even knows Audioslave.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things. I was like, okay, and then it was like another thing for us to bond on, or whatever the hell. And
I think everybody has those couple bands where it's so not what other people would think you'd be into, but even so,
most
like the
of
whole
things
genre.
I listen to.
Yeah, like the whole genre. You don't have to like the whole genre, but for some reason you just like this one band because they sound slightly different, but they still fit in that genre.
They get in there.
Mm-hmm. Like going back to the heavy metal, I don't like heavy metal at all. I don't like heavy metal, but I love System of a Down.
Yeah, you do.
I fucking get it.
Motherfucker talks about System of a Down all the time.
I love them. But I don't like any other metal bands or quote-unquote metal or heavy metal, whatever the fuck.
New metal?
Like, yeah, new metal. NU metal, whatever the fuck it's called.
Because I know I told you that, and you were like, fuck off.
Is it... Well, there's two types. There's new metal, N-E-W, but then there's N-U metal, isn't there?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure there's always
you were
going to
telling me
be...
that.
No, I think there's always going to be N-E-W metal.
Well,
like,
yeah.
There's always going to be new shit.
yeah. But that
No.
genre, it's NU metal, isn't
When
it?
I explain new metal to you, I say that is I bring it up like not brand new metal, just NU.
What
like
you telling
new
me?
metal.
Yeah, there's an NU. Yeah, okay, all right.
So that's what I bring up. It's like Korn, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Slightly Linkin Park.
See, I don't.
like that,
I don't listen to
Deftones.
Korn. They have a good couple songs, but I don't listen to them.
No.
No.
I fucking love Korn.
Yeah.
I get down with
But
Korn.
System is just that band for me. I don't know what it is, and I fucking love them.
I wish I could figure out what it is because I'd be able to give you more bands.
Well, I've said it a couple times because they don't. Well, we're not talking about System on this one, so we don't have to get into it. But
That's for another podcast.
yeah, it is for another podcast. Oh shit! What was I saying?
System of
Oh
a
yeah,
Down.
everybody has like that weird noise.
Everybody living out.
yeah,
Everybody
fucks.
sucks. Oh, I fucked that up.
I like fucks better. That's like the second time they say it, but fucks is all.
Yeah, they say like everybody living out, everybody sucks, and then everybody fucks, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody living now. Everybody cries.
Everybody dies!
Okay, alright.
Turn it into a
get me
System of a
fucking-
Down podcast.
You're gonna get me blaring on some System, dude.
Fucking A. Goddamn. So, we got Bring 'Em Back to Life, and I don't really have a lot to say about this song, because this
Bring 'em
song
back
personally...
alive.
Yeah, oh, live. A lot... Wait.
Bring him back alive.
Bring 'Em... Okay, I fucked up. To life. I said to life. It's alive. I fucked it up.
The fun thing about this podcast is that we drink, but also the bad thing about this podcast is that we drink. So,
and the also fun thing about the podcast is we get progressively drunker, and the bad part about the podcast is that we get progressively drunker.
There we go.
As I'm saying these words, I'm fucking it up. So, no, it's that chorus of just like, I am a virus, I live in silence.
This one's kind of weird, because I kind of looked it up beforehand. I never heard this song. But it's almost like a fucking riddle, in a way, if it's the right one I'm thinking.
Like a riddle?
Yeah, because it's...
Like I was on my way to the center of the sun when I lost my wings and I fell into the crown. Or a crown. Mm-hmm. And they carried me into the hole in the ground. And they buried me. Where no one could see and no one would be around.
And then the chorus is...
I fucking... sucked at that on reading
and
because I'm drunk as shit.
I am a virus, I live in silence. And which one did you read? You read the second one?
No, I read...
The first one?
I read the first one, yeah.
And then the second one was, I was on my way to the city in the clouds. When I lost my mind, I had to settle down. Then I had a dream of an island in the sea where lepers die, where no one lives, and no one can hear the cries. I am a virus, I live in silence. So the riddle is like, what am I? I am a virus, I live in silence. What am I? I'm doing all this, I'm going to the cities, I'm going to the center of the sun. What am I? That's
a weird riddle when you put it as what am I?
Yeah, that's
what
I think of. It's weird. It's those weird, like I said earlier, it's something you listen to and it could be lost in interpretation.
Cock it back, pull it twice, make a loud bang. What am I? That's not a hard riddle, but riddle is what I'm thinking. It's just like that riddle to my dick. But just like, yeah, that riddle is just like, yeah, that's how I feel. It's just, I'm a virus. I live in silence.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it's just never been one of the songs that ever caught me off guard, but I was like, oh, this fucking song.
Yeah. These last little bit of the songs, it's like, I never really listened to, honestly.
No, I didn't either. Like, they weren't anything that, well... Everything but Getaway Car, honestly, it just kind of was background noise to me personally, and so I just kind of listened to it and was like, yeah, we'll do this. But as I've been told from the music industry, is a lot of the time the music industry will make you put your best songs at the first and your shittier songs at the end.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of on the artist's...
Not always.
What's the word I'm looking for? It's fucking escaping me. God damn it.
It sounded like you were gonna say always on the artist's side.
It's the artist's decision.
Pick of the litter.
No, it starts with the C. Fuck me, I'm not gonna get it. But it's always on
Coochie.
Oh my god, yeah, it's on the artist's Coochie.
It's on the
yeah, you got it.
I know what it is.
Discretion. It's not a C. It's not a C. It's always on. It's their discretion of how they want to play it. Because I think sometimes. How we've kind of said in the past podcasts, their songs are like a story.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not necessarily the worst. And then sometimes it's like they'll put the worst first, so you have to listen to it to get to the best shit at the end. And it's like vice versa. And then other times it's just like there's fucking everything's just scattered. They just threw it all on the track and labeled them, you know?
And every time I make my albums, I try to do not as good, good. Not as good, good. Not as good, good. So that way if I lose you, I gain you, then I lose you, then I gain you, then I lose you, then I gain you, is how I try to do my albums.
Fuck, I don't think discretion is the word.
But if you put all the good ones at first, everybody's gonna be like, oh, this shit right here, song after song is a fucking hit. And then you're like, I don't know very many people who listen to an album all the way through anymore. Like, from start to finish, I don't know many people that do that.
Because especially, I mean, the great thing about Spotify is that you have...
Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify, you know what I'm saying. They have this large variety of music, and you can just pick and choose your favorite songs out of it, make a playlist, or just add to your liked songs.
Oh, hell yeah.
But then, that's all you're doing. You don't really put in the time, because I found it's easier to skip songs on Spotify. But if I buy an album, which is why we always say, go ahead and buy the CD... Because you put that sucker in, you spent money on it, you listen to the whole fucking thing.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially for the reasoning of what my argument is I have bought albums, like, what's the band name? Shit, I had it in my head, and then I fucking lost it, but it goes along with the same, it groups into the same audience that I feel like is Audioslave. They sing Sex on Fire. Fuck, what is their goddamn name?
Sex on Fire.
It was one of the ones that I grouped in with Like a Stone. And they sing a song along the lines of that. Kings of Leon.
Oh, okay.
So they do the same thing as I bought an album by them. I didn't like most of what I heard. They had their big song on there that I was like, this is my fucking jam, and the rest I was like, I don't like this guy's voice. Personally, I was like, I didn't like his voice.
Yeah.
3 years later, I love that album.
Really?
Yes. It took me, I bought that album 3 years later because, you know, I paid for it, so I'm gonna listen to it because I'm like, I gotta get my goddamn money's worth out of this shit.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I was like, I got my goddamn money's worth out of this. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna listen to it. So I listened to it over and over again, and I was like, you know what? It's not that bad of an album. I don't know why I thought it was a bad album at first. I didn't like his voice to begin with, but later on I liked it. And I was like, okay, they're not a bad band. They're actually really good, and they became one of my favorites. I would not say my favorite band, but definitely top.
Yeah.
I would say 10 or 15.
It grabs you different ways sometimes throughout life. You know?
Yeah, and that's why you should buy a CD.
Maybe when you first bought it, you weren't ready for it, but now that you have it, you hit a different point in your life, and you're like, oh, fuck, I'll just give this, for some fucking reason, I'll give it another listen to, and you're in a different point in your life, and you're like, oh, shit, this is actually a fucking banger.
It does. It hits you different. Just the later that you go, you know, maybe you haven't gone through those experiences yet. You got to go through those experiences.
Years after that, going through so many other experiences, you listen to it again, and you're like, oh, this is good, but it's not for me anymore.
Yeah.
It's not the banger it was.
Shit, that's a sad moment in life.
Like when we, in one of our later episodes, or earlier is the word to say, we did Weezer, Hold On Me? What was that?
Hold song
Me?
or
no,
the
album? It was Hold Me, wasn't it?
Something Believe. It had
Make Believe.
Make Believe. I was gonna say because I always get it lost with Incubus's
album.
Something that has also Believe.
We're backtracking. I don't want to stay on too long, but that one held me. Like that was my fucking album. I loved that album, so I was so stoked to do it. And then we did it, and I listened to it again for the podcast. I was like, man, it's not
the same as it was.
It's not as good.
It was that period in time where it hit you.
In that point in my life, it was fucking perfect, and I listened to it all the time. And I gave it a second listen further throughout my life, going through all this shit, and I gave it a listen. I was like, it's just not there anymore. The magic's gone. I've lived it.
Oh,
I'm on to the next.
It's a sad moment when you get into that of just going, goddamn, like what I used to love right here is changing and fading away.
Mm-hmm. It is, but it's also a sign of growth.
It is.
And some ways of maturity and just evolving and adapting as we all should. It's a sad moment, but it's also a good moment.
I was going to say the same exact thing. Everything you just said, I was about to just say it a different way. But that's exactly what I was going to say. It's just, you take that growth and, it's a sad moment because, like, holding on to nostalgia is fantastic. I'm a nostalgia addict.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. Going, oh my God, I remember this when I was young and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes that can just be shattered like a glass pane that just got a rock thrown through it when you get older. And you're like, oh, this isn't the way that I remember it being. It just doesn't hit the way it used to.
Yeah.
Some bands have so far in my life outlived that, and some bands have left. Mm-hmm. Eminem is a good example. I loved Eminem as a kid.
Yep.
Just all the anger and the rage and the hate. I loved it. But as I'm growing older, I'm like, okay, it's the same shit every album.
Yeah, well, and especially when you listen to it over and over.
And I'm
saying to it, you want to listen to Eminem, but it's like I've heard all this shit, and maybe the shit he's coming out with now just isn't hitting it the same.
It is, and his new shit is different, but it's just not hitting the same.
Yeah, I think
Which is no fault towards him.
No, because he's also gone through growth and maturity on his own different levels.
Yeah, and maybe those albums will hit me later in life.
You never know.
And I'll be like, oh, I didn't realize what I was missing. Mm-hmm. Until now I get it.
It's always cool because when you buy the album, some albums you just kind of forget when you buy them, but there's some where you can really pinpoint the day you got it, why you got it, or just kind of what happened.
Oh yeah, and I can still do
how
that.
And why you bought it, and it's fun. It's fun to reflect, but when you have it on your phone,
a little reflection time.
Yeah, I like
that.
When you have it on your phone, it's harder to remember.
At least I feel
you just come across a song, and it's still good. You come across the song, you're like, oh my God, this is a good song. It reminds me of this and that, but you don't have it of when you liked it, when you added it to a playlist, or when you hearted it for your liked songs. But you always remember for that one album, you were in a certain mood that day, and you're like, you want to know what? I'm going to hit the store, get this album, because that's what I need in my life right now.
Well, hell yeah.
You spend $5, $7, or however, depending on if it's new or if it's at a thrift store. You spend that cash, you unravel it in your car, stick that fucker in.
It's a beautiful moment.
Drive home listening to those bangers. Man, it's
a different vibe than when you just click something on Spotify or iTunes or whatever.
It is. It's
a different vibe.
Because it's like a whole journey.
It is. It's a journey.
You had this song, you had this sound, sorry to cut you off, but you had this whole mood stuck with you. And now it's like, you want to know what? I need to capture that. Let me run to the fucking mall. Let me run to that little thrift store that sells CDs down on the corner. Pick that shit up and just put it in. I have nothing to do. I was going to go back home, but now that shit's playing, I'm going to drive for a second.
I feel that.
Or old school days when you got the Walkman.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to walk home. I'm going to take a different route.
I'm going to go with this
Walkman. Just fucking take a little bit longer route home. Something just fucking happened to us shit.
I like that you said.
Difficulties.
I like that you said a drive because that goes. I don't mean to cut you off if
no,
you have
right
anything else to say,
ahead.
but we're also listening to Getaway Car.
Ah, perfect.
This is one of my fucking favorites by Audioslave. Now I know I've said that on a couple, but this is just a calm, little peaceful. Got some guitar in the back, little ambient, kind of a lot of reverb and shit.
Isn't that music right there though? That's music right there. When you have an album and that first song comes, like, oh, dude, this is the best song, my favorite song. Oh, you go through it, you tell everybody, you annoy people about it, like, why it's so good. It starts going through the album.
That's this podcast.
And it hits another song, you're like, all right, this is the best song. This is my favorite song. You annoy him about it again, and then sure enough, there's the third song. That's why it's the best. And
that's this podcast. That's this podcast in a whole, right here. Not in a whole, as a whole.
As a whole.
That is this podcast right here of just annoying people with why this is my favorite song. This is my favorite song.
Why it's our favorite album, and why we're sitting here talking to your face about
exactly.
it.
But just like, there's something about that. Like, it's like an argument. Like, this is the way I think of Getaway Car. Let me read you the chorus real quick. It says, "We'll settle down. I won't hesitate to hit the highway. Before you lay me to waste, settle up.
Settle up.
No, it says settle up.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, so settle up and I'll help you find something to drive before you drive me insane." And the way that I think of that, maybe a harsh way of saying it, but it's one of those arguments where it's like, I don't want to fight. I don't have the energy to fight right now.
Yeah, I've been there.
But it's like, I agree with not agree. I disagree with what you're saying, but I don't have it in me to fight right now.
Yeah.
And you keep pushing. And I'm not looking for a fight.
Keep driving.
So, like,
keep driving.
Either me or you needs to get in the car and go for a drive. Think about everything we've said. Think about everything we've done.
Right on. Yeah.
And we just, unlace it. Just okay, calm down, and let's regroup and figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself a car and drive away. A getaway car. Whether that be you or the other person. I need a getaway right now. I'm just not trying to have this fight. I don't have the energy. It's not worth it. It's just, we can figure this out later. It's just one of those things where you're like, you know what? I'll figure this out, or you'll figure this out, and let's get in that getaway car. Let's get away from this for a minute.
Yeah.
Drive away.
Mm-hmm.
I'll figure it out.
I like that.
It's a nice, it's a good time when you just have that getaway car. Personally, I'm a victim of definitely being in an argument and getting in a car and just driving away and being like, you know what? I just need to get out of here for a minute. People don't like that when you just leave during an argument. But you get in that car and you drive away and you go, you know what? I need to regroup before I say some dumb shit that I don't mean.
I feel that.
Whether it's a getaway car of an actual car, or whatever your escape is. Let me listen to this music. Let me play this album real quick. Let me do these things. I'll regroup, and then let's figure it out. Usually, I would say that's not most arguments. I don't think they usually start that way. Usually, it starts in anger, and then you guys yell at each other, and then eventually you just get exhausted because neither of you are coming to...
Because you're just arguing again.
Yeah.
It's just another argue about some dumb shit, and you're just, like you said, it's
no conclusion.
I'm tired of it. Like, I don't have the energy to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Because I've literally said those words
Just don't
like
have
word
the energy
for
to
word,
keep
like,
doing this.
Like I'm just rubbing my face. I'm just like I don't have the energy for this. Like I can't do this.
And it's hard, especially when you don't want to give in, because it's like, if it's something that you truly believe in, or it's something that you're just like passionate about, you know, it's one of those arguments where you're just like, I don't want to just agree with you.
Yeah.
Because we need to find a middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that
so
should be, technically every argument is you should find the middle ground with your significant other. You shouldn't just give in and say what you think they want you to say. Mm-hmm. You should say what is on your mind, but at the same time, you guys have to find a middle ground.
That's where I think, like, the next couple of words is always like, I'm exhausted, I can't do this anymore. And it's like, so, what is it? Is this the breaking point? Is this
the make or break?
Yeah, is this the make or break? If it's not...
But you're not trying to make it the make or break.
No, you don't want it.
But it's what it feels like.
You don't want to give that ultimatum, but you also want to be like, if it's not the make or break, then can we just stop? If it's not the break, can we just stop? And if it's the make, then let's just fucking deal with it for a second. Let's stop arguing and just be like, alright, this is what it is, and let's move on.
Yeah.
So it's either you move on together or you move on separately. And I think that's what's right after whenever you say, it's like, I'm just exhausted, I can't do this anymore.
Can't. This is too much. I feel that, and that's why I love Getaway Car.
Yeah.
It's just, there's another point where he says something like, so get yourself a car. Where is it? I think
so
he
get
says
yourself
that.
a car and go fuck yourself.
So get yourself a car, drive away and go fuck yourself. Yeah. I thought he said, so get yourself a car, but I'm not reading it anywhere in here. But I thought he says something in there of like, so get yourself a car and drive it far away or something like that. I thought. Apparently I'm wrong reading the lyrics in here, but I don't know where I'm thinking of that because we're not listening to it anymore. We're listening to The Last Remaining Light, which I don't have a whole lot to say, but because this is a song that I kind of skip. It's a beautiful song, like it's a beautiful sounding song, but it's not one that ever hit me, but the chorus is, and if you don't believe the sun will rise, stand alone and greet the coming night and the last remaining night. Which makes me feel like, because I've never really listened to this song like through or anything like that, but the way that I kind of think of that in a sense is kind of in the sense of like, if you don't believe the sun will rise, like, oh, you'd be a negative.
Oh.
Stand alone and greet the coming night and the last remaining night is like, well, this is the last night. Like, meaning like we don't have, tomorrow's not promised, so you really want to be angry?
Yeah, do we really want to spend this night like this?
Yeah, do you really want to spend the night like this or be angry if this is the last night? Would you be happy with knowing that you were just pissed off the whole fucking time?
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody, not just like to the other person. It's just like, would you like that? You know, that goes for yourself too. It's like, do you really want to spend this night being pissed off? But that's that metaphorical shit of like, when you come up with those things, it's like, do you really want to spend your energy being negative all the time? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, well, you don't want to be negative all the time. But what I mean is,
but also you want to feel what you're feeling.
But you want to feel what you're feeling. So it's like, I hate the metaphors of like, do you really want to spend your energy being negative when there's negative energy? Sometimes, yeah.
Or it's like, or
pop
or
real
it's
quick.
Ooh, there you go.
Sorry.
Or it's There's like, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. It's like, okay, go fuck yourself at that level.
Yeah, that's it. That's perfect for what I'm trying to say.
It's like, I'm not trying to frown right now, but also, I'm in a bad mood, and I'm not going to just push that away because you gotta be happy all the time.
Yeah, that's a better analogy of what I was trying to say.
No, I got you though.
It's just like, it takes more fucking muscles to frown than it does to smile. Sometimes you gotta frown. Okay?
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
you need it.
There's nothing wrong with feeling what you're feeling. Yeah. As long as you get out of it. Like we've said before in this podcast, you feel what you feel, but don't let it be a hole.
Yeah.
Don't get stuck in a hole with that shit.
Feel what you gotta feel at the time, but know when it's time to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Feel everything that you got to, but know when it's time to progress and move on.
Mm-hmm.
And push on.
I wonder because a lot of these songs we kind of interpret it as a kind of breakup, always in a relationship, problem dealing songs. I wonder if we were to talk to Audioslave with not just Chris Cornell, but all the other members of the band. If we told them that, they would if they would have been like, yeah, that's pretty on point for most songs, or if they would have looked at us and been like, that's completely wrong, and you guys are looking far too deep into it. And also, maybe you guys should lay off the emotions a little bit.
I have a nervous.
Maybe you guys got to get over some exes, okay? Because you're getting pretty deep with it.
I have some problems like that with knowing that, like, I'm like, I wish I could take all these artists that I love and like pull them to the side and talk to them about their songs because I'm scared. I want to, hoping that they're going to confirm what I say.
Yeah, give you validation. Like, yeah, dude, you're right. You're absolutely right with what you're thinking.
As somebody who's wrote some songs that people have been like, that song really hit me. Like, somebody told me one time one of my songs gave them cold chills. And all I could say was thank you, but no... what'd you say?
Shameless.
Shameless fucking plug is one of my things that I thought about. Like, as I said, I was like, yeah, thanks. In my head, as I was going, don't say something to ruin that because they appreciated it.
Yeah.
But really, the shitty part about that is I wrote that in 5 minutes and I wasn't thinking that hard about it.
Kind of
and that's not what you want to fucking hear when you talk to like your favorite artist. It's like, this song really means a lot to me. Like a Stone really means a lot to me because it just like, it hits me in the heart. It's like, I'll wait for you like a Stone. And Chris Cornell's like, I wrote that about alcohol. Whoa!
Okay.
Which is why I would never talk to Anthony Kiedis about any Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Is that what like a Stone is about?
No,
alcohol?
I don't
okay.
know.
I was like, damn.
All I know is like, well, it could be related to drugs. That's the thing about that's beautiful about music is that you can relate it to anything that you feel like it needs to be related to. But Anthony Kiedis, after reading Anthony Kiedis' By the Way book, Scar Tissue book. I'm stupid. The Scar Tissue book. It ruined a couple songs for me because there was a couple songs I thought were love songs and they're about hookers or drugs. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not what I thought it was about. Right. So maybe we should not talk to artists about what they're writing about.
Like we're all above falling in love with a hooker.
No, I get that. Like the G-O-L-O or G-L-O-R-I-A. Tell her that we miss her. That song's about a hooker. Dude, I straight thought in high school that song was about a lover. Nah. No, it's about a hooker, and it fucked me up. So I'm sorry if I ruined that song for you, if you thought the same thing as me. But
hey, get in line. It's all
I'm going to say is, if you love the Chili Peppers and you don't know what the songs mean, don't look them up. Love them as you want to love them, because a lot of songs got disappointing to me when I realized what they really meant.
Take it how you want to take it, and don't let anybody ever change it for you.
Oh yeah, and especially with our podcast, if you haven't heard these albums and you're listening for the first time, don't let what we said affect your input on what you listened to. And if let it be your song.
If you have an idea that's completely contrary to what we said, let us know. We'd love to see how the fuck you saw the song.
Hell yeah.
And the way you perceive it, because it'd be cool to see a different light on that shit.
Like I said, if you're on Apple or Spotify, go into our description and check that out, and you can send us a voice message. And like I said, if you don't want us to read it out loud or say that it was you, or if you do, we will say it. In the comment section of YouTube, also hit us up in there too. Yeah, and we will definitely get a hold of that, and we'll talk about it, because we're late on our podcasts. So we're fucking in it. We will be right there.
And bam, dude, that's Audioslave. Audioslave. Great album. If you need to give it a listen, definitely make some time.
Oh, hell yeah.
And fucking put that shit in your ears, because it's a good album. Great album. Audioslave. It's definitely a grunge band. It definitely fits in a certain timeline, I think.
In my personal opinion, one that everybody has to listen to. But I say that about a lot of shit that really most people don't say that about.
Yeah, but that's how we see things. And if you're listening, give it a listen and tell us what you think about it. If it moved you, if it was complete shit, we like to hear all the noise. And also, for everybody that's listening to YouTube, the new Spotify and Apple Music, you can catch us on YouTube, CDTalk. It's capital CD and then talk, all one word. And then how do they see us on Spotify and Apple Music?
Same way. Just go to search CDTalk.
CDTalk.
I don't know if it matters, but capitalize the C, capitalize the D, and capitalize the T. CD Talk. Yeah. But don't be a fucking idiot and put CEEDEE. It's literally the letters CD.
Like a C. If you hear CD, how you think it would spell is CD. Easy peasy. That's how we keep things. But boom, that's another successful podcast of CD Talk. Glad you guys were here to listen to it. And here's
You gotta end this on a cheers, my man.
to the next, my
Boom.
guys. Thanks again.
Thank you.